What's up guys, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and this is the brand new Apple iPhone 14. One of the first videos with this in the world, so a thumbs up for your boy would be appreciated. Now if you're interested in the iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max, I've covered those in a separate video, which you can check out in the cards and down in the description. But in this video, we're going to be checking out the iPhone 14. Let's go ahead, get it unboxed and see what it has to offer. So the unboxing experience is very straightforward. We are initially presented with the iPhone 14. As well as that, we do get a USB Type-C to Lightning cable, no USB-C to USB-C this year anyway. And then we have a little pack with a SIM card tool, some paperwork and an Apple sticker. And no surprises that there is no charger included out of the box. Let's remove the paper screen protector. And here it is, the iPhone 14. I've got it in this new blue color, which is a much lighter blue, but it is available in a midnight, a purple, a starlight, as well as a new, very vibrant product red. Now, I think you'll quickly realize that this looks very much like the iPhone 13, and we'll bring in the iPhone 13 for a side-by-side comparison. And the design is almost identical. We do have the aluminium frame, this glossy glass back. The camera module also looks very similar. We've got IP68 water and dust resistance, and things are pretty much identical at the front too. So we've got a ceramic shield, and then we've got this notch. So unlike the iPhone 14 Pros with the dynamic island, the iPhone 14 still maintains the notch. And as far as I can tell, the display is also identical. So this is a Super Retina XDR display. It's using OLED technology, has a peak brightness of 1200 nits. Now on the iPhone 14, it is 6.1 inches. On the iPhone 14 Plus, the display will be 6.7 inches. That's actually coming a little bit later on. It's going to be coming in October. I will be covering that. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see it first. And as you guys probably already know, there is no longer an iPhone mini. So you can still get the iPhone 13 mini from last year, but there is no iPhone 14 mini. Right, so what are my thoughts on this display? It's still a really nice display. It's sharp, it's vibrant, it's bright. However, I would have liked to have seen a higher refresh rate. So this is still 60 Hz. It's not 120 Hz like the ProMotion displays on the iPhone 13 Pros as well as the iPhone 14 Pros. Now, even if they couldn't go all the way up to 120 Hz, I would have still liked to have seen around 90 Hz just to give it a bit more of an improvement compared to the iPhone 13s. But nevertheless, that is the display. One area that we do have some big improvements is in the way of cameras. So for the front-facing camera, we now have a 12 megapixel true depth camera with a new sensor and a wider aperture, which is going to give you much brighter images, up to 2 times better images in low light. But we also now have autofocus from the front-facing camera, which we've never had before on an iPhone. This is going to mean for your selfies, you'll be able to get better focus for close-up selfies as well as for group selfies, and it's just going to produce much sharper results. The primary rear-facing camera has also had a big update. We've got a brand new sensor with a very wide f1.5 aperture. This is going to let you capture around 49% more light, resulting in around 2.5 times better low light images compared to the iPhone 13. And for the ultra-wide camera, although the hardware seems pretty much the same, Apple is now using what they call a photonic engine, which is going to be processing images at the raw stage to give you much better images in low light, around 2 times improvement for the ultra-wide camera. The improvements also mean that you're going to be able to get quicker exposures in low light, up to 2 times faster, so you're not going to have to kind of stand there for that long. And the portrait mode has also been improved with a blur on the foreground as well as the background, so it's going to give you much more realistic portraits. Now, unfortunately, the ultra-wide camera does not have autofocus, and that means you're not going to be able to get the macro shots that you will be able to on the iPhone 14 Pros. Now, improvements also carry on to the video side of things. So we still have 4K HDR capture up to 60 frames a second with Dolby Vision. However, you can now have cinematic mode up to 4K 30 frames a second. On the iPhone 13, you can only get the cinematic mode up to 1080p. Now we also have action mode, which is going to give you much more stable footage. That goes up to 2.8K, so not quite 4K, but the results look promising. So overall, some nice improvements for the cameras, both in the way of photos as well as videos. Now, the iPhone 14 is powered by the A15 Bionic chip. That's not quite the same as the A15 that's in the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 mini. It's the same A15 with the 5-core GPU which we had on the iPhone 13 Pro, so that's going to give you roughly about an 18% improvements for graphics compared to the iPhone 13. Now, of course, it would have been nice to have had the A16 like we've got on the Pros, but in my opinion, having the A15 Bionic is still really good because it's a very capable chipset and it's still one of the fastest that you can get out there. Now, I'm not sure of the exact size of the battery of the iPhone 14. However, it should give you slightly better battery life compared to the iPhone 13, and you do get 20 watts of charging supported. Of course, that charger will have to be purchased separately, but if you do get it, you can get 0 to 50% in around 30 minutes. MagSafe, of course, is still supported, so you can get up to 15 watts of charging with MagSafe. And if you use a regular Qi wireless charger, that's going to give you around 7.5 watts of charging. Now let's look at some of the additional features. We do, of course, have Face ID. This works as expected. We've got stereo speakers, one in the earpiece and one button firing. Now in the UK, we do have a physical SIM card tray, but in the US, you will no longer have this for the iPhone 14. You will have to use eSIMs. You can have multiple eSIMs active. And the iPhone 14 does come with a few new features. So we've got some additional sensors in here, and that will enable crash detection. So in the unfortunate incident where you may be involved in a car crash, the iPhone 14 can automatically contact emergency services if you do not respond. We've also got emergency SOS via satellite. This is the first time we've seen this on a smartphone, I believe. If you are out in the middle of nowhere and you're not getting any data and you do need to get in touch with emergency services, then you will be able to use your iPhone 14 to contact them via satellite. Now this is going to be available from November in the US and Canada. I'm not sure when it's going to be available in the UK and other regions. And it's also going to be included for 2 years. And I believe after that, there will be some form of subscription model, which we don't know too much about as yet. Right, finally, storage and pricing. So this is available in the same variants that the iPhone 13 was. So we've got 128, 256, as well as 512 gigabytes. And the good news for people based in the US anyway is that this will be starting at the same price that the iPhone 13 started at, around $800. However, if you're based in the UK, then this is priced higher. It's going to start at around £850. And if you do want the 512 gigabyte version, that goes all the way up to around £1,180. I'm not sure why this is priced more in the UK compared to the US. But anyway, that is the iPhone 14. Overall, familiar, incremental updates, similar design, display, but we do have some big improvements for the cameras, photos, videos. We have the new features such as the emergency SOS with satellite, as well as the crash detection. Now, personally speaking, I would have liked to have seen improvements in the display, have ProMotion. Even if it wasn't 120 Hertz, at least 90 Hertz would have been nice. That's what I think anyway. What do you guys think? Do drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Will you be picking up the iPhone 14? Or will you be waiting for the iPhone 14 Plus, which is coming in October? I'm going to be doing lots of coverage with that too when it's out. So if you want to see that first, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. If you're interested in the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, I've covered that in a previous video here. There'll also be another related video here. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button for me. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.